Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host with the most, Natan Verhovsky here, founder of Allura Creative Agency. We proudly present this series that you're watching right now. This is Triumphant Tuesdays. Every day of the week is numbered and lettered and having a ball. On Triumphant Tuesday, today specifically, how to choose your avatar. And it's about who do you serve and how do you serve them. And it's so key and it's so important. So we're going to get into that in a minute. And that's where the topic is really going to come into play. I'm going to put some contact info in the chat. So if you wanted to reach out, if you wanted to have some time, if you want to go through any of these things, by all means, let me know where we're coming from. And if you don't know who I am, I'll take 30 seconds and introduce myself. I've been an elite energy coach for about 30 years. I started back with Cirque du Soleil acrobats, Olympians, national sports teams. I played with peak performance at the highest level for about 30 years, had about 15,000 people come through my hands, wrote a couple best-selling books, and then COVID hit. And I didn't want to come online and make cat videos like everybody else. So I was focusing instead on creating a private, invitation-only, not-for-profit educational community. And we started off as the Essential Academy back in June 2020. And then a couple of years later, we moved the model over to more of an agency where we could really, really help our clients even further, get their message out, get one-on-ones, build private, paid, and free communities, really explore ecosystems, not just funnels and tunnels and very elementary type things. So I'll put my contact in later on if you'd like to say hi and we can chat either as an energy coach or as an agency owner. I'd love to speak to you if you were a coach, a healer, a therapist, financial advisor, or even another agency owner. We love to collaborate and co-brand and white label, and the tide raises all boats. So there's so many ways to play. Now, in one of the first strategy sessions that I have with new clients, one of the very first things we cover is your avatar. Who do you serve? How do you serve them? Because if you're, I'll give you a sports example. If you're a athlete that runs down a narrow pathway and it bounces and it's a reef floor. So let's say you're a power tumbler and you're doing round off back handsprings and going doom, 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 doom down the fast track. If your first move, your round off, is just 1 degree off, how far do you think you're going to be able to make it before you fall off the platform? Maybe 10, maybe 20 feet. Depends how fast you're going, because everything gets amplified the faster you go. So that 1 degree off from dead center is enough to get you possibly injured, and definitely a very low score. It's no different where we are here. I work with people that have been doing what they've been doing for decades and are now scratching their head and examining, going, damn it, I never asked at the beginning, who do I serve and how do I serve them? I just had a client come on in and become a client. And I go, I guess that's who I serve. And that's, I guess, this is how I serve them. Okay, dokie. And then let's wash, rinse, and repeat that for the last 25 years. And those people aren't necessarily happy, because part of asking who do you serve and how do you serve them, we'll pop those other two big questions in there. Do you like how you make your money? Do you like how you spend your time? Those are the two questions coming from me wearing my energy coaching hat. Who do you serve and how do you serve is me wearing my coaching hat. So we're able to come in and play with both, because as any human being, you bring all your experiences with you anyway. That's part of how wisdom happens. So where we want to look at today, let's start the party off. Imagine you're stepping into a video game. You got to choose your avatar. But it isn't just about appearance. It's going to define your purpose, your mission, the people you're here to impact. What would you choose and why? So important to not rush. These are foundational, fundamental questions that need to be answered. And they need to ring true to you. They need to ring true to your potential client. They need to resonate at that beautiful frequency of abundance, but at the same time, the way that that has a ring of truth to it, that expression, it's the resonance. And it completely hits you and then does something. Like sometimes you'll hear a note and you'll get, your arm hairs, goosebumps and stuff. That's because it does something to you. It's got a note over here. You internally are resonating over here at this frequency. When it hits and connects, you get a new one. That's the power of your words. That's the power of your frequency. That's the power of your voice. So in that, we want to make sure that we're going to tie it into your personal branding, tie it in as a representation of your purpose and your identity in the world, because it's got to go far beyond the surface. And of course, we need to relate it to your services. So the avatar is a lot of how you serve others. And if we're looking at how you serve them, might be almost easier than who you serve. Because there was a couple exercises going around the internet, and God bless them, they're not wrong. It's just they're not useful in the way that I need them to be. So maybe they were great for somebody else, and God bless them, but for me, no. And I'll tell you what it was. It was that notion going around that I need to understand my client to a level like maybe his partner does. Hopes, dreams, wishes, thoughts, fears, ambitions. And I'm like, you sell life insurance. What are you talking about? Like, you don't need to understand them to that level. Maybe it'll help you. Great. Do you think it'll help them? You need to be categorically clear on who you are and what you do, and then be unflinchingly clear on what genuine benefit that has to your client. Because they're looking at it through selfish, self-serving, what's in it for me glasses. We all are. That's how it works. And the clearer you can speak to that, and the more succinct you can make your messaging, the faster and easier that person can go, yeah, sounds right, Bill. It's exactly what I need. And you also want it to come that way because it sounds much closer to, it was their initiative. You want inception to occur on their end, not yours. Even if you trigger it, even if you craft it, even if you curate it, yes, no kidding, that's your job. But they're the one that are supposed to experience the aha moment. Holy crap, I need to work with Bill. That's them. You can't tell them, holy crap, you need to work with Bill. That doesn't work. So, who do you serve? Let's say you want to go down that exercise and be like, you know what? I'm a woman coach and I only work with other women coaches. I look for them to be 45 to 65 years old. I look for them to be well educated. I look for them to have chronic problems either with their weight or with their health. I'm looking for, and I'm like, I'm sorry, did you also want them to all be left-handed, wear a blue shirt, and then like green pants? Because as much as that exercise is a great exercise to figure out what's your ideal avatar look like and think and want and hope and wish. No, that does not relate to what you do. And in no way, shape, or form will help you move the needle to get that client to go closer to, aha, you're right. I do need to speak with you, Bill. That's where you're trying to get to. And everything you do has to lead to that. And everything you do that isn't correct detracts from that. So now you're going astray. And once again, got to take your efforts to get back on target. That's the danger. That's why we want the message to be clear from day one. So when we get to who we serve, look at it in terms of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I mean, can I search for women? Can I search for people that are 45? Can I search for people that are left-handed? Can I search for no. So then why on earth are people being told to make their avatars with those questions? I can't find those. As an agency, if you want me to find you women that are 40 to 45 years old, what filter would I use? What search engine can I plug into to get that result? I can tell you it's not LinkedIn because I've sent 20,000 messages as an agency and 20,000 requests to connect at about 31% saying yes and 41% replying is unheard of in the industry. You can Google it. We are doing it because the messaging is going out and serving them in a selfish, self-serving way, which is why it resonates with them. That's why the messaging would work. And that can only come from if you know who the heck that person is. Before you figure out how to blow a dog whistle to them, figure out who the hell they are. Then we figure out where the hell they're hanging out. Then we craft the message. Then it just makes more sense. And they go to this, seems almost logical to work with you. Just, no, it makes sense. Yeah, presented, tuk, tuk, tuk. Yeah, that makes sense. So when we're looking at who we serve, please, 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 let's come up with industries. Let's come up with past experienced clients. Let's come up with people that you've worked with that you like and that you want to keep working with. But not Bob, the guy named Bob. Bob, the financial advisor. Why? Because I like financial advisors. My product service offering speaks to their concern and need and helps them in their area. Perfect. You should focus on that. And you should say, you are the financial advisor's financial advisor. or not financial, but you're the financial advisor's marketing advisor. You get my point? That will speak to those other people that are financial advisors going, oh my God, he's just talking to me. There's the dog whistle effect. That's what you want. You also want to be polarizing, where binary. They either love you, don't want to play with you, or they do. And they can't wait to get a hold of you and consume all your content. That is much more authentic as well, because you're not trying to be friends with everybody, and you're not trying to please everybody and you really don't want to. It's not healthy. So who we serve, let's look at it in terms of searchable items. That'll keep it much more clear to you. Let's say you are looking for women that are 45 to 65. Okay. Is there any particular industry that you like? Is there any profession that you like? You're like, yes, I like a dentist. Wonderful. So if we were to look for dental owners and then afterwards try to filter who's a boy, who's a girl, or whatever, that might be something possible. But preempting that, no. And it'll limit you in the wrong way, because you're going to be thinking of the wrong things. You're going to be thinking of these things. There's no way to search for that. There's no LinkedIn or Facebook group for that. So focus on who you serve in terms of metrics and possible ways that you can track. Who did you reach out to? Who responded? Then you're on the right target audience. Next would be the messaging. And let's see if the messaging resonates, because it's literally either messaging or audience. It's not a big complicated game we play. I know we like to pretend. This is it. Ultimately, it boils down to, was the message the right message? Check mark 1. Was it sent to the right audience? Check mark 2. There's nuances. Was it sent enough times? Was it sent at the right time? On and on and on. But you got to get the big ones out of the way before you worry about these cute little extras. This is 50, 60%. This is 50, 60%. These are like 1 or 2, 3. So figure out which ones you're going to need. Now, once we figured out and go, okay, I like women dentists, open that up. Is there any way that this can serve men dentists? Is there an overall, because you were told to drill down and be so incredibly specific when you picked your avatar that you were, the one in the best of the only ones that does this, that works with your group. Okay. But this is all stuff we've been hearing for the last couple of years online. If you've been around since the beginning of the pandemic, like we have, you've heard a lot. You've seen a lot. And the vast majority of those people are not still here playing. They didn't keep the lights on and the doors open. They didn't figure out how to make this work. They ultimately didn't figure out how to serve others. Or maybe they asked the question, who they serve and how they serve too late. Maybe they pivoted and rebranded too many times. There's a lot of different ways this doesn't play out well, and very, very few that it does. I'd like to focus on those. So if we can focus on, let's say we're looking for dentists, and we've not even narrowed it down to women anymore. We're just good with dentists. But you're looking for senior dentists. You don't want the 22-year-old dental person. Your product service offering helps the more mature dentist owner, because it'll help them get more growth in their business, help them retire, maybe plan it out and succession, those kind of things. So that's no problem. We can click on seniority. We can look at time in role. Look at the metrics and look at the tangibles that you see that are the search options on something like Sales Navigator. And it'll really help you find your target audience. That's who you serve. Find those, click those. When you see the search results on the side and you start going from 23 million, and then all of a sudden it says 2,300, you're in a sweet spot. You don't need 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, 200 million. It's infantile a number to go to. We're allowed to, if you have a premium account, I think send out 150 requests to connect, 250 requests to connect a week. It's 1,000 a month. You got 10,000 people. What are you going to search this for the next year? Come on now. That's why we need a smaller, more tangible amount. And that's when we'll know if we're doing it right. We don't need to take 10 months to go, oops, wrong message, oops, wrong audience, oops, both. We need to be fast. If we fail fast. And if it works, we double down. And that's part of the strength and part of the logic. That's where this comes from. So we figured out who we serve. We looked at our variables. We know what that is. Now we got to take a look at how we serve them. And of course, we can look at how we did serve them in the past. We can look at what worked, what we didn't work. But before we answer how we serve them, let's rewind and ask internally our energy coaching questions. Do you like the way you make your money? Do you like the way you spend your time? Let's say this is all you've done for the last 25 years. This is all you know. I've had somebody come to me who said, I need you to help me get more opportunities to stand on group stages, speak to groups and large audiences and such. I said, John, I've known you for like 10 minutes, but I can tell you're a very reserved, quiet, introverted person. Do you change on stage somehow? Or are you just like, I got to ask you why? And he's like, it's all I know. It's all I've done. It's all I was told that you can do. I said, well, no, you can just have private practice. You never need to be on stage. You could never even speak to people. You can just write books if you want, like make courses. So many ways to play. Many ways online to make money as there is offline. Same thing. And he was just never exposed to that. So when I asked him deeper, let's explore this now. How do you like to spend your time? Do you like to spend your time on stage talking to people in groups? Do you like it one-on-one, personal private therapy where you're really making a difference? Do you like a bit of both? What do you like? And he was able to figure out that in his particular case, he liked the one-on-one. He did not want to do the group, but he also only knew how to do the group as a single host. In our world at Allura Creative Agency, we put on these events for leadership roundtables, financial fireside chat, health, wealth, vitality forums, you name it. But I always co-host them. So somebody introducing you and your offer instead of you introducing yourself and pitching your offer is a huge difference, especially when you're looking at C-suite executives, leaders, and such. So knowing that is part of knowing how do you like to spend your time? How do you like to make your money? If you don't mind being in a group setting, as long as the spotlight isn't 100% on you, as long as you're not the one presenting, let's say I am, and you only speak for a little bit, then that might be a sweet spot for you. So knowing that that's how you like to spend your time, now let's go to how do you like to spend your, how you like to spend your money is your own business. Let's talk about how you like to make your money. Some people like to make it in group. Some people like to make it one-on-one. Some people like to make it in courses and book sales, memberships to their paid community. You name it. There's lots of ways. Heck, someone might be an influencer and get enough following on YouTube and monetize that. It's happened before once or twice. So if we're looking at how do you like to make your money, you need to be very specific. Because how you like to make your money, and you say, I like to do one-on-one coaching, and I'd like to be paid this much for that. And I'd also then like to do some group coaching in my paid community, and I'll be paid this much for that. And those are the two ways that I want to make my money. I don't want to make my money any other way. Perfect. So if that's how you want to make your money, how do you want to spend your time? Some people want to spend their time promoting those two things. Other people want to say, no, I'll pay someone else to promote it. I exclusively want to spend my time doing those two things. And in the rest of the time, I golf. I'm with family. I paint. Whatever the heck you want to do. Bake sourdough. I don't care. I bake sourdough. So knowing that that's what's going on, that's the key motivator. Look at how you're spending your time. If that's how you like to spend it, match that with how you like to make your money. So now we know that you don't mind doing a co-hosted event. Otherwise, you prefer to be one-on-one. And we know that those are the two ways that you like to spend your time, and you're not going to do anything else. You're going to pay someone else to take care of all the other things needed in your business. And that's how you're going to make your money, and that's how you're going to spend your time. And now that we know that, let's back up to who you serve and how you serve them. Well, this pretty much answers how you serve them, doesn't it? That's the point of that exercise. How do you serve them? By either in group settings, at workshop webinars and leadership roundtable events, or privately as a coach in multi-month practice. That's it. And so that's what you'd be promoting. That's what you'd be offering. That's what you'd be able to figure out. So find your tribe. Find those 1,000 raving fans that could hear you speak here and then drive 3 hours to hear you speak at the next place and pay full price all over again. They would love to consume your content. Find a repository. Have someone build one. Reach out to me if you'd like. And know that in that space, everything is available for you. So here, I'll put contact info in the chat. Voila. And you know what? We'll get fancy pants. So here, let's go into. We've got ticker tapes, Put up a little Q&A in the back if you'd like to stay, have some fun. Now, obviously, stay tuned for next streams. That is coming up tomorrow. We got Winning Wednesdays coming up tomorrow. It's going to be epic. I've got the wonderful Tim Malone with me. He's going to be talking about the secrets of listening. Epic conversation. You absolutely want to be there. Join us. If I can help you or anyone that you know in our context, we're here as a not-for-profit. So we're here to help pick those people up that need a brighter light shined on them in their messaging. They're not just here to sell some crap. They're here to do some good, to help, to heal. Those are the people we'd love to be introduced. If you know them, if we can help them, if we can serve, what a blessing. Thank you for joining us today. And in the meantime, oh man, we got Winning Wednesdays coming in. You've got some crazy stuff coming up for the rest of this week. Stay tuned. Join us. We have a free group, The Frequency of Abundance. That's literally what you type in, The Frequency of Abundance, under groups on LinkedIn. We have a small paid community if you'd like to join us over there. We go into deeper dives. We do one-on-ones. We have group work. The tide raises all boats. If you'd like to play with us and see if there's a way to create some of these incredible events and community things for you, my contact's in for the chat. Reach out to me. And if you're curious about a little energy coaching and you're at that peak performance level and you're already at 9 out of 10 and you're just curious how to get to like 9.1 or 9.2, that's my sweet spot. Reach out to me as well. Looking forward to saying hi. Talk soon.